The first method I'm going to show you involves creating a cartoon using Photoshop. So first I'm going to open up the photograph in Photoshop. I'm going to unlock the background and I'm going to create another layer and drag it underneath it. And I'm going to do edit, fill, and fill with white. Then I'm going to go up to the animal and I'm going to lower the opacity so that you can barely see it. And then I'm going to create another layer on top of it. Then I'm going to just draw using the brush tool, but everything I draw, I'm going to exaggerate. So I'm going to exaggerate the ears, I'm going to exaggerate the eyes. If something's fluffy, I'm going to make it zigzaggy. If I want the eyes to be big, I make them even bigger. So I'm exaggerating the proportions. When I filled the nose, I found there was a little line where the fill ended. So I'm going to do select, modify, expand, and then when I fill it, it's going to be a nice solid black. So then I take a lighter version of the color and I'm going to change my foreground color, make it slightly lighter, and I'm drawing the gray on top of it. I'm just going to add in the eyes and basically draw my cartoon right over the original animal, exaggerating all the features. And as you can see, the exaggerated features on the cartoon make it look extremely... Some students may be more comfortable drawing on paper. If that's the case, just outline your drawing with Sharpie first and scan it into the computer, open it in Photoshop, and hit Select, Color Range, Shadows. And what you're going to do is you're going to adjust it so that you just see the image of the animal and not any of the extra noise in the picture. So I'm going to hit Select, Color Range, Shadows, and you can see I don't have enough pixels selected. I slide it until I have just the right amount, and I can see the rabbit without any of the other noise or extra background. Hit OK, and then edit copy. This is a drawing done by one of my students outlined in Sharpie. I then create a new document for print, and then I hit edit paste. And as you can see, I just took the black lines of the rabbit and none of the other unnecessary information from that picture. Now I'm going to use the magic wand tool to select multiple areas. If you hit the shift key, you can select multiple areas at once. The trick that illustrators use is they then go up and they hit select, modify, and then expand selection. And they expand the selection by about, I would say, maybe 3 pixels. And then you're going to go select, deselect, and you're going to go to the layer below the lines, the original background layer, which is white, and you're going to hit select, reselect, so that the selection is actually in the layer below the rabbit. Now I'm picking a foreground color of a light gray, and I'm going to do edit, fill, foreground color, and you could see that I put the color in the layer below the lines. So I'm just going to show you how nice and clean that looks because the color extends beyond the edge of the lines because I modified my selection. Now that area is selected, I'm going to hit a slightly darker gray, and I'm going to change the sharpness of my, I'm going to make my line extremely fuzzy. And I'm also going to change the opacity of my line. At the top, you can just change the opacity. And I'm going to use that to make the shadows. And the nice thing is you can't really go outside the lines because only the gray is selected. So by doing that, I'm making this very nice, clean coloring and shading in the layer below the rabbit. And you'll see how nice it looks when I deselect it and when I unhide the line layer above it. You get a nice, clean coloring job. So there you have it, 2 different methods for creating an illustration using Photoshop. One using a drawing on paper, the other using a drawing directly in the app.